Today, we unveil the life and legacy of Şah Hatayi. Şah Hatayi's name reflects two people. Şah means ruler, but his birth name was Ismail. However, Hatayi is the name used to refer to the poet. Hatayi can be roughly translated as mistaken. In his earlier years, he founded the Safavid Empire, which would eventually become the second largest empire in the Middle East. Later in life, he becomes a poet and a philosopher. To know Şah Hatayi, we first journey back to his childhood. Born in Ardabil in 1487, he was the youngest son of Sheikh Haydar, the leader of the Safavid tribe. Sheikh Haydar met his fate in a battle against the Shirvan Shah and Akkoyun tribes in 1488. Ismail's early life was spent evading opposing tribal leaders and living in secrecy. The status quo was continual conflict with tribes competing for dominance. However, a change was on the horizon. The Safavids possessed substantial support, being both a large tribe and adopting Alid religious views, one that celebrated Ali, the son-in-law of the Prophet Muhammad. This was a counterweight to the Sunni clergy in the area. The prevalence of Alid ideas and beliefs among Alevis goes back to the approaches of Shah Ismail. Ismail eventually embarked on a mission to unite the people under the Safavid banner. The term Kızılbaş, crimson head, came to define the growing Safavid forces and their supporters, eventually defining the Alevis of the era. In 1501, Ismail ascended to the position of Shah, capturing Tabriz after successfully defeating other major tribes in the area. The rise of the Safavids marked a significant geopolitical shift. The Safavids had widespread support in the Ottoman lands. Alevis regarded the Kızılbaş as a beacon of hope. The consequence was uprising against the Ottoman Empire in this period. The Safavids adopted Turkish language and built an empire that would attract artists and intellectuals from across the region. The Safavids sent out dervishes, wandering philosophers, to educate people. Eventually, the Safavids expanded their territory with land stretching across the Caucasus, Kurdistan, modern-day Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, and both sides of the Persian Gulf. The success of Shah Ismail was due to several factors. He had policies aimed at settling nomadic tribes into permanent residencies by offering them land. Ismail, as a leader, a warrior, a descendant of the Prophet, and a renowned poet, made him popular. The Shah offered a liberated life to those who joined him, in contrast to the majority of other empires in the region where a divide existed between the rulers and their subjects. The Shah was willing to give high-ranking roles in the army, businesses, and religious practices, further drawing people towards him. In 1502, the Ottoman Empire was under the rule of Sultan Bayezid II. Although communication between the two leaders remained civil, it was Sultan Selim, Bayezid's son, who would eventually change the course of history. While still a prince, Selim disagreed with his father's peaceful approach to foreign policy with the Safavids. He even invaded Erzincan, controlled by the Safavids, but was eventually compelled to withdraw upon his father's discovery of the incursion. After a violent ascension to power, Sultan Selim took decisive measures to counter the Safavids, mainly by blocking people from joining the Shah's ranks and by preventing the free movement of people into Safavid territories. Sunni tribes were placed along the Ottoman-Safavid border to prevent people from joining the Safavids. Administrators who maintained friendly relations with their Kızılbaş counterparts relocated away from the border. Being a Kızılbaş was criminalized and punishable by imprisonment, and anyone who had participated in the Kızılbaş uprising, such as the Shah Kulu revolt, was hunted down, later resulting in approximately 40,000 deaths. From personal writings, we know that Selim despised the Kızılbaş, stoking the fires of anti-Kızılbaş bigotry that remain to this day. The pivotal moment in Ottoman-Safavid relations and the life of Shah Ismail was the Battle of Chaldiran in 1514. Sultan Selim, annoyed by the fact that the Safavids had attracted Turkmens in Anatolia, embarked on a campaign of terror that culminated a clash at Chaldiran. The loss was devastating for the Safavids. A lack of gunpowder weapons and poor preparation cost them the battle, with Shah Ismail narrowly escaping with his life. In the aftermath, the Ottomans' campaign continued and thousands were slaughtered in the weeks and months after. Mass graves discovered centuries later revealed the true savagery of Selim. Shah Ismail later chose to retreat from political life and embraced the name Hatayi in his literary works. Hatayi had honed his skills as a poet from a young age, particularly during the years of hardship in his childhood while in hiding. The Azerbaijani Turkish, in which he penned his poems, influenced the language spoken in the region. As mentioned earlier, Hatayi's works profoundly impacted Alevis, reshaping Alevism. His poems continue to resonate in gem ceremonies to this day. His use of tempo and temperament made the most intricate philosophical concepts and spiritual expressions accessible and beloved by the masses in the Middle East. Even contemporaries of Hatayi, like Pir Sultan Abdal, had a deep respect for his wisdom. Hatayi poems speak of core concepts in Alevism, from the path to love to haq.